This is the most accurate coffee cup I have ever seen. The ironic thing is the fact that I'm drinking tea out of it, so yeah. Alright guys, we're gonna do this. Greetings internet, it's Katie and I'm back today with a brand new video. I'm so sorry about my unintentional week and a half hiatus I experienced last week. I feel like I completely just neglected all of you guys. I got overwhelmed with finals. If any of you guys have taken finals, you know it honestly feels like all of your professors get together behind your back and plan how they can make your life as hellish as possible. So that is kind of how it went last week. I pulled several all-nighters. I was crazy busy. So anyway, now that I can finally breathe after finals, I'm back with a brand new video for you guys, which is basically just gonna be me sitting here talking to you guys again about things that are just very real and very raw and very hard to talk about, but that need to be talked about because they are so important. Several videos ago, I addressed my biggest fears that I've been feeling lately, but now I decided that I wanted to talk about the biggest mistakes that I have been experiencing and how I plan on coping with them and stuff like that, because I feel like, mistakes are so often brushed under the rug because we're embarrassed. We're embarrassed when we fuck up, to be, plain and simple. We carry them almost as a burden, because we're embarrassed by our mistakes instead of letting those mistakes build us into better people. So today I'm going to be addressing the biggest mistake that I have been making lately over and over and over again, and it's been really painful to deal with because I feel like it has been dictating so much of my life. The biggest mistake that I've committed recently is convincing myself that I need to have it all together. I feel like so much of our 20s and our late teens are spent feeling like we need to have our lives together. Because I remember, distinctly at age 13, 14, being like, oh, by the time I'm 20, I'll have a long-term boyfriend. I'll be going to the perfect college that, is lining me up for my perfect career. And, I felt like, at age 13, oh my God, I can't wait to be 20. I can't wait to have my life together. And sitting here at 20 years old as of 2 months ago, I could not be more confused about what I want to do with my life. And recently I've been very hard on myself. A lot of you guys have noticed, in my past videos and just in my social media presence as a whole, that I have not been very happy lately. I thought I was hiding it very well. I honestly did think that you guys wouldn't find out how I was feeling because I thought that I could wear this mask and pretend like everything was okay. You know that feeling when you're sitting at the very bottom of the pool? There's all this water above you and you're just sitting at the very bottom, just kind of like a rock, almost at the bottom of the pool. There's probably some muffled screams from above, kids, kicking around, muffled noises, but for the most part, it's complete peace and complete quiet and silence, a very eternal sense of calm. But then after a matter of maybe 10-15 seconds, your lungs start screaming for air. Feel this burning sensation oh, I should probably go up now, I should probably go get a gulp of air and then come back down or whatever. I experience that feeling every single day. And I'm not saying that I'm, spending my life every day sitting at the bottom of a pool necessarily. I feel that sort of sensation every day of my life. Every time I experience a sense of calm or just experience something, joyful or happy or something where I just feel very at peace and very chill and, good with myself, I feel like there's this weird burning sensation inside of me oh my God, I need to do something productive. I need to go get tutored. I need to go work on this for this class or do this or, volunteer and do this and do that and do this and do that. I feel this constant need to be productive and I feel like I'm never doing enough and I need to, better my future in this way and that way, and, I'm constantly thinking about the future, and the future scares the living hell out of me because I have no idea what to expect. I have no idea what I should be doing differently now to better myself later. And my biggest fear, as I said, I'm afraid of looking back on my life and thinking, why didn't I do more of this? Why didn't I do more of that? It is completely destroying me, how I'm involved in so much, because I feel like I can't breathe. I can't find the root of the problem. That's what I'm struggling with. I can't find the root of why I feel this way. Why do I feel like I always need to be productive? Why do I feel like I always need to be better, to be smarter, to be prettier, to just be better? And I honestly blame this on society, and it's so cliche to be like, oh, society sucks, society's the reason for all of my struggle, etc. I feel like society is this invisible beast that we feel like we need to listen to all the time, and it's the easy way out to be like, oh, society's the issue. As we grow older, we're told We're taught even to put our homework first. We're taught to indulge in time fillers and little things that fill up our time, and we're taught to always have something on our agenda. And then once in a blue moon, when we actually have, 10, 15 minutes to an hour, of time to do something that we want to do, we freeze up because we don't remember what it's like to live spontaneously, and we don't remember what it's like to do something that, we weren't told to do and that won't necessarily better our future. I think that in this day and age, the millennials, we've kind of lost what it means to be spontaneous. We've learned what it's like to live a desk life, and I think that's a shame. Recently, I feel like my feet are moving forward. I'm doing all the right things. I'm taking all the right steps to better myself, but I'm going nowhere. I feel like I'm not going anywhere because I was having this conversation earlier today over brunch, I don't know what I want to do with my life, and it is honestly scaring the living daylights out of me. I am terrified at the future, and I think that's because I've been taught that I need to know what I'm doing. I'm 20 years old, and that means I've had 20 years to figure it out, and I should know by now, right? But I don't know by now. I don't know. And, I've manufactured this idea in my head that I have to have all of my boxes checked. I have to have everything in line. I need to, have money saved. I need to have a 3.5, 4.0 GPA. I need to have this many people in my friend group. I need to be in this sorority. I need to be enrolled in these classes. And I need to have a boyfriend. And, as you guys heard from my last, I think almost 2 videos ago, maybe 3, I was basically being very desperate, being very, very transparent with you guys about my severe lack of a boyfriend and how I was so hung up on that. I've had some time to think since that video. First of all, I'm kind of disappointed in how that video was executed. I feel like it became more of a rant rather than a let's get together, let's change something about our lives. I feel like it kind of got a little negative at some points, and I'm sorry about that. I really hope that it came across the right way. But ever since I made that video, I've been really, really desperately soul searching, and I've been really thinking about it, and I've come to the conclusion that I need to follow my interests and my passions and look towards the things that I'm passionate about, and a boy will come along eventually. But as I was thinking about that, I kind of considered, why in the first place is it so important to me to have a boyfriend and to have all of my boxes checked, as I just said. Why is it so important? And then I realized that it's not that important. It's not that important to have everything all in line, because it'll happen when it's meant to happen. But I feel like I'm taught, or I'm shown by other people, that that's how it's supposed to be. It scares me that someday I won't remember all of the beautiful moments in my life because I'm so hung up on what's next. I feel like I've really been mistreating myself lately. I've been mistreating myself. That's probably the best way I could put it. I've really been putting myself down. I've been just nagging myself about why I can't be better. I feel like I've been blurring all my moments together, and I haven't been fully living everything I've been doing. I feel like one day I'm gonna forget how it feels to be this young and this full of energy and life and passion. And as I said regarding the whole boy situation, I'm gonna focus on my passions, my interests, and a boy will come along, But what scares me about that is I don't even know what I'm passionate about anymore, because I feel like my life has become so full of obligation, so full of the things that I need to do, and I've been so focused on what I need to do next in order to better my future and, that sort of thing. What can I accomplish next? But I feel like my accomplishments have been so hollow because they haven't been me. I feel like I haven't been fully rooted in everything I've been doing. I've kind of been just trying to see how I can do things the fastest. I have completely lost sight of what I care about on this earth. I've forgotten what makes me feel alive. I've forgotten why I'm even here. Why do I even care about this? And I've seen all these messages on my dash on Tumblr. I've gotten so many messages from you guys about relationships and about your struggles with academics and your struggles with this and with that, and on top of my struggles. And I've realized, guys, that unless we are very aware and very adamant about what we're passionate about, we're living a hollow life. There can be all these outside things, outside pressures weighing on you, but if you have something you're so passionate about and so into as a hobby or as a career or as a lifestyle, if you don't have that, then I feel like, what's the point? What's the point of being here if you're not making an impression, you know, on the world, because there's so many of us. There's like billions upon billions of people, of humans with lives and bodies and ambitions on this earth. But what sets you apart? You know, what gets you out of bed in the morning? What are you passionate about? You need to know these things. Like, you might not need to know where you're going in life. Like, you know, that's bullshit. Like, we don't know where we're going because things could completely change tomorrow. Like, you know, something could just like hit tomorrow that will change everything. But as long as you know what gets you out of bed in the morning, what you're passionate about, you know, you need to know these things because you need to know what fuels you. You know, what fuels you as a human being? What makes you tick? You need to know these things. And you know, like I said, like, it's so ambiguous. It's so hard to pinpoint where you're going in life. It's so hard to pinpoint the destination, but it's really not hard to identify what you are excited about, what you're happy about, what you want to do. And you know, for me, what I want to do, I want to create. I live to create. I love making graphics, making videos, you know, talking, really getting on personal levels with people. Like, these are the things that I love. I love these things. I love visuals. I love colors. I love all of those things wrapped into one. But why have I been committing so much of my energy towards schoolwork and biology and like weird ass things that I don't actually care about? You know, I've been convincing myself that I care about these things, but I really don't. And you know, not saying that we don't have to do things we don't want to do every once in a while. That's totally just a part of life. Like, we have to get used to that, like kind of tolerating a certain amount of things we don't want to do, because like, who actually wants to pay taxes? Like, no one wants to freaking pay taxes, but we have to do that because, you know, those are the things that kind of keep us with the currents, you know. But at the end of the day, if you are committing the majority of your energy towards things that you don't care about, you're going to be downright depressed. And you know, that's how I've kind of been feeling lately. I won't say I have depression because that's such a serious disease, I understand that, but I have been depressed lately. I have been feeling very empty, very hollow, very just the opposite of driven. I feel like I've been losing what it means to be Katie, what it means to be me. And you know, that sucks. It hurts. It really, it's been eating away at me, but I haven't been doing more of what I want to do. Like I said, the biggest mistake I've been making lately is convincing myself that I need to have all my ducks in a row. I need to know exactly where I'm going. I need to know my exact location of where I am going. And guys, that is completely messed up. You know, I've recently adopted the idea and the motto, the life mantra, that you don't need to know where you're going. You just need to know what makes you happy, and you can go from there. Anything and everything that gets your blood racing, that gets you out of bed, that makes you feel purposeful, it is 100% worth doing despite the risks. We cannot get sucked into these rigid routines that deprive us of life and color. We cannot lose our spark. You know, it'll completely crush us. One day we're gonna wake up and we're gonna be 80. We're gonna be 80 years old, we're gonna be crusty and ugly, and we're gonna look back at our lives and we're gonna either be like, oh my God, those were the best years of my life. I did exactly what I wanted to do. I was 100% genuinely myself the entire time. Or we could look back on our lives and be like, I fucked up. I completely did all of the wrong things. I did everything I didn't want to do because I thought that it would better me. At the end of the day, if you're absent from your life, you know, if you are living your life with your eyes closed, it's gonna hurt us in the end. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing to have lungs that breathe and a brain that thinks and legs that can climb mountains. You know, it's a beautiful thing, but I feel like so often we forget about this. We neglect this. We realize, you know, maybe I could climb a freaking mountain if I wanted to, but I can also sit at a desk and be more productive and be better off. It's a shame that sometimes we don't realize that it's enough. You know, we have enough as we are to be extraordinary. We do not need to have it all together. You know, we just don't. We do not have to. I don't need to have all of my boxes checked. You know, I don't need to have all my ducks in a row, and I don't need to have a boyfriend. I don't. I need to breathe deeper. I need to have more time to myself. I need to experience things the way that I want to experience them, and I need to learn. And not necessarily schoolwork. I don't need to maybe learn another language if I don't want to or whatever. I need to learn more about me. I feel like in school we're taught to learn about all these historical figures and learn math and learn science and learn all these things, but we're never taught to learn about ourselves. You know, if we don't know who we are, then how the heck do we plan on living with ourselves for the next however many years? You know, you need to know you, and you need to learn you and what makes you tick and what makes you excited and who, you know, what kind of person you want to spend the rest of your life with. Because if you don't know these things about yourself, you're digging yourself a hole. So kind of looping it back to the beginning, I've been getting a lot of questions from people, you know, Katy, what's wrong? You know, what is going on with you? What is making you seem sad in your videos and your photos in person? You know, my friends at school have been wondering too, like, what's going on with you? You know, are you feeling well? Like, what's wrong? And guys, honestly, what's been wrong is the fact that I've been lying to myself and I've been tricking myself. And I, quite frankly, do not know who I am anymore. Or ever. Did I ever know who I was? I'm not sure. I've been filling my time with all of these responsibilities and all of these things that I've convinced myself that I need to do and I need to know. And I've been completely forgetting about myself in the mix of things. I've been forgetting that I matter in the grand scheme of things. You know, if I feel like shit, for lack of a better word, if I feel like I'm not in it and I'm just kind of being dragged along, you know, I feel like I'm not living. That's kind of how I've been lately. I've been kind of, you know, getting this weird realization every once in a while, like, you know, do I actually want to do this? You know, and that is why I've been feeling so hollow and so purposeless lately. I felt like my existence doesn't quite matter because, you know, I've kind of just forgotten what it means to me to be passionate. Like, I've forgotten what I care about. And, you know, I vowed lately that I'm going to spend more time soul searching and wondering, you know, what do I care about? You know, what do I care about? What makes me happy? What gets me out of bed? So with that, I'm going to close this video. But before I go, one last thing. I am a firm believer in the idea that music is very healing and that music can really, you know, reignite your spark in a way. So I actually created a playlist to go along with this video. I know, kind of cool, little dimension we got here, but I'm going to link it in the description box below. It's a Spotify playlist that I put together as I was kind of prepping for this video, just something, you know, 10 or 15 songs that kind of inspired me to make this video. And whenever I just like feel like I'm in a rut or a dark place, you know, I listen to these songs. So I thought, why not throw them into a playlist, see if you guys like it. And I think that's it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. I'm gonna go drink some tea because my voice is like shot right now from all this talking. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video and I'll talk to you guys all in my next one. Bye!